My name is Katie Dye. I'm currently a freshman at Bowling Green State University trying to create an alternative education major, which as of now does not exist. I'd like you to take a moment and close your eyes with me and visualize. Visualize the Grand Canyon, the rich red mountains, the bright blue skies, and the birds flying over. Now visualize a political rally with thousands of people motivated to change the world, to hold the president to what he said and promised us. Next, visualize an art museum, the quiet, open spaces where you're free to take in the art and think about how you feel, how it makes you feel, or maybe a loud museum environment. Now, visualize your classroom. Visualize the four walls surrounding you, the rows of chairs facing forward, and a teacher at the front lecturing. Kind of a buzzkill, right? Feel free to open your eyes. It is my philosophy that education should not be limited to those four walls, that it shouldn't be limited to that seat that you're sitting in the row, in the classroom, in the school, with the teacher who is lecturing about math, science, or history. I was a part of the Mosaic program, which represent. But for some of you who are not a part of the Mosaic program, might not know a lot about it. It's an alternative learning school where it's based on community and relationships with your facilitators, your students, your friends, and that's how education should be. We live in a world where it is taught that you learn in school, and outside of school, you do homework, and then you go screw around with your friends and have fun. It's my philosophy that education is fun. Education can be fun, and the way that we implement that is through our community. There are so many things going on in Columbus, so many things going on in all of your cities, whether you're from here or in Bowling Green State University. It is a call to action to get out in our communities and to learn through experiences, to go to the Grand Canyon and learn about rock sediment and layers and the indigenous community that's there. It is my philosophy that you should learn through experiencing a political rally, whether it's your party or not. You should be there and take in all sides of every subject. I am working very hard to create an alternative education major, which does not exist. I'm currently an AYA language arts major, which means high school English. But we as a community are moving to a place where students no longer need to feel entrapped in those four walls. Students no longer need to be brought down by the pressures of getting an A on your test, of getting, whatever grade on the ACTs, by getting into your college. Colleges should not base students on those ACT grades, which are very vital to some. Through working and trying to create this major, I am very hard trying to get people to understand that our minds are not closed in this classroom idea, that they're not limited to those four walls, and that students can be inspired by the world around us. Here today is a living testament that students can be inspired by everything around them, that students are inspired by more than just what comes out of a teacher's mouth, that we're inspired by the people around us, and to surround yourself with those people can sometimes be a hard thing to do in a classroom, which is why we need to get out in our communities and learn from the people around us and be influenced and make a change. Now, I recently did make a trip to Washington, D.C. With a few of my classmates at Bowling Green State University. We hopped on a bus from Columbus for $10. We drove to D.C. for 8 hours. And we got off and were welcomed by a community of people who want to change the world, who think that changing the world is possible. It's not out of our grasp, it's very close to us. These people were inspirational. They were homeless, they were from colleges, They were graduated and living on their own, but they knew that they can change the world. They were there to hold a president to his words and to say, we're going to follow through whether you do or not. And that's what we need to do. That's what we as students need to do. Not all of us are able to be in a mosaic environment during our classroom time. Not all of us are able to have that wonderful sense of community that's provided. But all of us have the opportunity to get outside of the classroom and to learn from our community. Everyone can find education through experience, and everyone can be empowered, which might seem like a hard thing to do in your school, as I said. But it's up to you and it's up to our generation to break those boundaries and to show the world that education doesn't come from a classroom. That education comes from our neighbors. That education comes from going to the slums in different cities and learning from impoverished people. Education comes from these experiences. So I call to action to learn from your environment, to learn from your community, and spread the word that education doesn't always take place in a high school. Thank you.